Welcome back to this month's release of SAS Viya 2024.04. This time we are looking at a new capability to switch up the privacy information for different semantic types, take a look at data step processing directly in SingleStore, and also a bunch of new steps within SAS Studio. Let's dive right in. As we usually do, we start things off inside of SAS Information Catalog. On the left-hand side, you can see this new icon for classifications. If we click on it, we are taken to a separate menu where we can change the classification of all the different semantic types that are available within Information Catalog. That then reflects as the information privacy information when you look at the different tables you have. You can now go in and, for example, change the address from a candidate level up to sensitive or private, or if you don't feel like that's a sensitive information inside of your business, change it to none. So you get rid of that red alert inside of Information Catalog. So that's a really powerful tool. And of course, that capability is tied to an authorization level that you can assign to a user group so that not just about anybody can change it around. Now, let's move on from Information Catalog into SAS Studio. Let's go to Develop Code and Flows. And here we are back inside of SAS Studio. Now, what I have in my environment is a SAS Viya with SingleStore installation, meaning we have a connected SingleStore cluster where my data resides, and now with this new update, I can actually run and process my data step 1 code directly in SingleStore. Of course, there's some exceptions to what you can't run, like the lag function, but most of your everyday functions or assignment statements just work, and you don't have to move your data from SingleStore into your work or into other databases. So let's first look at that library in our library browser and our aptly named S2 for SingleStore library. If you right-click it and look at the properties, you can see that its engine type is set to SingleStore as well, so this is no fake, this is actually SingleStore behind the scenes. If you want to enable this capability, you have to set the DS Accelerate Any option in your SAS session. And then we're gonna first copy over some data into our SingleStore environment and then actually run some processing on top of that data. And our SAS log now tells us that the SAS embedded process is being used for this operation, and it gives us the information that the function fully executed inside of the database, meaning no data movement happened in that second data step at all, speeding up your calculations and also reducing costs because you don't have to wait for the data to be moved out or into that database. The second new thing inside of SAS Studio is a bunch of new steps. We have different categories, so I'm not going to show all of them because it's just so many that we have again, but the general categories are listed down below. The first thing I want to highlight is that previously we had 3 different steps around locate, and now they have been condensed into one unified step that you can make use of, and it makes it easier to switch up things as you go along and change up your data. Then we introduce new elements for statistics, econometrics. We have a new standardized data for preparation and also utilities for machine learning, optimization, and text analytics, making those capabilities much easier to access. Now, after we have looked at all the new features inside of SAS Viya, let us take a look at what the SAS community created as new awesome content. First up is an article around how you can use SAS Visual Investigator not just for fraud, but for other use cases that can help you to drive value within your organization. Next up, one of my favorite topics is looking at stock market data and trying to predict which stocks are going to go up. And this blog post explores how you can use time series modeling for exactly that use case. And We already talked about a bit of text analytics inside of SAS Studio, so let's also take it up another level and look how it looks like inside of SAS Model Studio if you're using VTA, and get a deeper look at the possibilities of the text topic modeling node. And we finish things off with new custom steps that have been made available in our SAS software GitHub repository, this time with the extract visual analytics report metadata that helps you to understand what tables are being used in a report, how they are calculated, what types of objects are in there. It's a great tool to kind of track and measure how your company is using visual analytics across all the different reports. I hope this update was helpful to you and you found something interesting. See you next time.